Tick, tick, tick on the wall. Maybe you could have it all. Get down on your knees and pray. Maybe she will let you stay. Good enough if you play the game. Here comes the music, don't resist. Gotta keep on moving. Here comes the music, just give in. Gotta keep on moving.
Meanwhile, my ear is ringing from my clap.
Okay, well, they'll balance out into like one average clap.
That's what we are, right? The three of us balance each other out to become one average podcast.
True.
I'm trying to think if becoming an average podcast would be an upgrade or a downgrade for us. Like, I'm worried that like when you say average podcast, like that's like a Joe Rogan. You know what I mean?
It's the I guess
like,
what are we
top
using as
100
a metric
podcast.
for average?
I was like, that's what I was thinking. Is like that's like the when you say podcast, that's one of the first ones people think of just in general that it exists.
I guess that's. But Joe Rogan's also very successful. So I don't know what is it. Yeah, again, what are we using?
Do you think
as
he
a
would come
metric
on the
for
show?
Average. Do we think? I don't want him to come on the show.
I didn't want him to. I'm just asking. Do you
No.
think he would come on the
No,
show to
well,
Do you
talk
think
about
Joe
this
Rogan would be
very
a
smart
Tamlin
book?
defender? Would Joe Rogan be a Tamlin defender?
I think
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
he would
he-
say that Tamlin was exercising his right as like man of the house or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's his property. I think that we can probably. I think there's a better guest. Actually, we should figure that out. Like, who would be like the best celebrity guest, the opposite of a Joe Rogan, basically. to get on
Personally,
this?
I would like Robert Evans from Behind the Bastards. I think
Okay.
to have him
I don't
come
even
in
know
here and
who-
break down the political fascist nature of Tamlin while also talking about the romance of it, that would be great.
I've never heard of that person or that show.
It's a really
Or
popular
Joe
show.
rules.
It's a good show. I've only listened to a little bit of it, but yeah. I was thinking like what kind of Joe, what you suggested is like a good idea for like what would make good content. What I'm asking for is like what would be like the craziest like celebrity to get on here.
The craziest celebrity to get on here.
Because like who's going to be able to bring like some of that heat to the show and really dissect this recent, Feyre mating bond in a really interesting way.
I don't know, Stephen
Andrew
Colbert.
Tate.
Wow. Okay, so two different people, Stephen Colbert and Andrew Tate. Very different people.
Again, Stephen Colbert, good idea.
Yeah.
If we could get that, if we could swing it.
I actually
good
have a
idea.
connection to Stephen Colbert. I used to
What?
I used to work for his sister. So I can.
You used to work for Stephen Colbert's sister.
Yes. So
Melissa
I can maybe.
Colbert?
That's not her name. She has a different last name, which I'm not going to say out loud here. But she.
I mean, I could probably Google. We could Google Stephen Colbert's sister.
Okay, fine.
You're not
sure.
protecting. You're not about to dox this woman by saying her name.
All right, fine. It doesn't matter. But no, when I was in college, like or rather when I was in grad school over in Charleston, she runs a renewable energy sort of nonprofit down there. So I worked with her as for an internship.
Elizabeth?
Yep. Go check out Elizabeth. Just fucking dox her right now.
Elizabeth Colberta.
No. One of the first things she said to me was like, I cannot get Steven on the phone. It's like, don't ask me.
That's the first thing she said to you?
She's like, I'm not going to. Like, don't ask me to do that.
Do people ask her to do that?
Yes. She said everybody asks her to do that. They're like, can you call him right now? Can I talk to him?
That's obnoxious.
It's so... I would not have done that, obviously, but...
Yeah, that's... Obviously, you never do that. But anyways, can
But
you get her to get Steven on the show?
Yeah, I'm going to go and ask her and see if we can use that hookup. Actually, this is a good... this is actually a good thing, too. Does anyone else have any, like, second or third degree hookups to celebrities that we might be able to access?
Not that I still talk to. I have been friends with a couple people who are now pretty big celebrities, but I haven't talked to them in a long enough period of time where it's like...
Yeah.
I don't even want to mention... I'm not even going to mention their names because it's a weird...
I agree. Like, I had someone who
Yeah.
I was like good friends with in high school. I haven't talked to her since high school, but she spent like 5 or 6 years working for Lady Gaga as like designing her dresses. Like she was the one who
That's
did a lot of those
crazy.
crazy dresses.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it was really cool. So we might be able to see, but again, that's just, it's been too long. Does anyone we know currently have access to a famous person?
I got nothing.
Okay.
It's also a weird thing to try and like genuinely, like bits aside, it's a weird thing to like genuinely try and pull. Like, hey, you're friends with this person, right? Can you get them on my podcast?
That is
And the
what
next question is
fucking
probably,
YouTubers do,
do you
all the fucking time, though.
Yeah, but we're not YouTubers.
No, they're
right?
really shitty for it. I'm just saying they do it all the time. We got to
I think
survive on
our
own merits.
best bet, and this is, if we'd have to go for content like Drawfee on YouTube, we'd have to go for people that are like-minded and, the small, more niche content creators.
I don't even know who Drawfee is.
It's a
Drawfee's
really
great.
good channel. I think we should get other artists, people who are artistically, creatively minded, trying to say something really powerful. So I think we should try and get Banksy.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were going in like the donkey direction.
Oh, we could also get him. That would be funny. I
We should get Mr. Beast.
Okay, we're kind of...
I do have an access point to Mr. Beast almost, because when I was in the airport coming back the last week, we were in the food court like grabbing something in the Charlotte airport, and at the table next to us there was just a random guy sitting there, and some girl ran up to him and she's like, "Oh my god, you're Mr. Beast's friend, you're on all his videos." And he's like, "Yeah, I am." She's like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And I was like, "Okay." Like, what? So I was in the same room with Mr. Beast's friend, so that's my access point.
So when you said you have a connection to Mr. Beast, I didn't think...
No, that was
I
fake.
thought you
That
meant
was a bit.
like you had a phone number or like you
No,
knew a guy,
that
not
part
like
was a
you
bit.
one point in time passed his friend at the airport.
No, my similar story is I have a connection in the same way Nirav does, but I have a connection to the band Mastodon's drummer.
Okay.
Because I saw him at a concert venue, and I yelled his name a bunch, said, "Braun, Braun, Braun." So he finally turned around. I said, "Can I get a picture?" He looked visibly upset that I asked him this, and he smiled for a picture, and immediately his face went back to being visibly pissed off, and he walked away.
Wow. That's a professional,
That's
though,
cool.
that he could switch like that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that does remind me of when I was here at a coffee shop across the street from my house a few months, maybe a year ago, and I was working from home there, like, and I looked up and I saw fucking Dustin from Stranger Things, and like one of the main kids, and he was just ordering coffee, and my first reaction was like, "Oh man, I should like get a picture with them," and like I looked at him and I locked eyes with him, and he was just like. Like, I didn't say anything.
Nirav is shaking his head solemnly for the audio
excuse me.
medium.
Yeah, it was very funny because he was just like, "Don't even do it, man. I'm not in the mood." And I was like, "All right." I
felt bad with my interaction, but I was also like, this is my one of my top 5 bands of all time, and one of my favorite drummers. And also, I've come too far, and I've already interrupted his day.
That's
I
true.
kind of have to commit to this.
That's pretty.
Yeah,
good.
I have some stories of meeting people and stuff, but at a certain point, I gotta wonder if 9 minutes of us talking about meeting celebrities
8
is
minutes.
interesting content.
All right, it's fine. I look. We'll just obviously the best. Why don't you write into the show? Let us know who you want to have a guest on here, and we'll just use our contacts, our vast network of contacts, to make it happen.
I think every episode you ask someone to write into the show, but we still haven't read a single comment on Spotify.
I was actually going to do that today.
Great.
Yeah, no, I was going to
right into our Gmail, Tamlin's gspot69 at gmail.com.
The email address is going to change every episode. Actually, Lindsay was like, I have a point to complain about with you, and I said, "Oh, listen to the next episode and just write to that Gmail account." She said, "Okay."
To complain about to you? To you?
Yeah,
or to the
me,
podcast?
about the podcast. And I was like, "Oh, just write it in the inbox. We'll filter it out there."
Did you actually get what her real complaint is?
No, I told her to write in.
Dude.
But anyway, yeah, we will do that at the end of the episode. But yeah, definitely drop some comments on Spotify, and I don't know if I think iTunes just does reviews still. I don't know if like Apple Podcasts has like a comment function, but I will pull those up as well. If you guys are able to drop some of those reviews, we'll read them out here. That'd be fun.
So now we've asked people to review the podcast and write in before you even introed the podcast. Or
Oh yeah, what the fuck is this show? Damn it.
We haven't said our names or what the name of the podcast
not
is.
everything's a fucking winner, all right?
Yeah,
Sometimes
can I go back and edit our names in where it just says Erev.
I'm Joe, and sometimes shit just sucks, you know? Sometimes you don't do a good job, and that's that.
I'm
Patrick, and I kept wondering. I kept wondering if this cold open was going to end at some point, and then it kept going, and I was like, should I say something?
I'm Nirav, and I think that the good podcast openings can't exist if bad podcast openings don't exist.
That's
so
a good point.
We are providing a net good to the world right now.
That's a good point.
This is a
court of bros and bros.
Yes, we are all individually a court of bros and broses, but also collaboratively. That is who we are, as established in the last episode. But yeah, we are taking a trip through Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses series in an attempt to learn something along the way about romantasy novels and I guess like love. I don't know. But today we have a little bit less lovin' and a little bit more fucking fighting, which I'm excited to talk about. A lot of explosions in this one.
The dawning realization that this book is the Into the Spider-Verse of the book series, where it's building to something and then it gets to a surprise cliffhanger.
Oh, okay.
ending
You're talking
is how
about
I'm
Across the
starting
Spider-Verse, the second one.
Across the Spider-Verse. Thank you.
Okay. I
where it's
understand
like.
now. Yes.
Where you're like where you're kind of getting to the climax, you're like, wait, they're not gonna wrap this up, are they? You're like, fuck me.
Like, I think they'll wrap something up.
They will wrap something up, but I agree that it's going to end on like a giant cliffhanger of some kind. Like, but we'll get into it once we get to the attack part. So, all right, yeah, let's just get right into it. He says,
yeah,
let's
not waste any time. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it.
All right, so basically the last thing that happened was that Rhys and Feyre like established that they were mates. They did their soul bonding, and then they like bonded some other stuff. Hello.
Joe is currently doing a very crass motion with his hands.
Quite crass. And then they went back to the
what hand motion you think I was doing? Listeners at home.
They went back to the Illyrian camp after they also in the last one they talked to all their friends and everything about like their mating, all that stuff, and
had the biggest retcon of all time.
They didn't do that until this one.
I thought they came back and everyone was like, oh ho ho.
No, that was this one.
That was in this one? Okay, sorry.
No, the last one, they do a lot of fucking, right?
Okay, sorry, it ended with the fucking. Okay, this one starts...
The last one ended with so much fucking.
When they come back, and then all their friends are like, congratulations on the sex you had.
Yeah, everyone's like, wow, good sex. We can tell by the looks of your faces that you had good sex. And then Cassian immediately starts... as we learned in the last chunk of chapters, when the mating bond clicks into place, it can make males like freaking ravenous and vicious, and like they'll just demolish cities.
It's crazy.
We have to talk about that for a second because it's like, oh man, we get so worked up, we can just like tear through buildings, and I'm like what? Because clearly what they're trying to do is it's like the fucking vampires in Twilight. It's the newborns when they turn, man. That's
guys, I don't know how everything comes back to Twilight somehow.
It's the only thing. I'm sorry. You guys have broken my mind. I was trying to pull up our comment thing to have a tab open, and I just Googled the word podcast.
You also typed on your computer, so we're gonna get Rachel writing in about
that was a horrifying sin. I am sorry.
Typed in. I heard the typing through Discord, which means it's going to be loud as fuck.
I'll have to make a note to actually.
No, leave it in. We've talked about it. We've acknowledged it. It's
all right.
Anyway. Yeah, we'll leave in the typing of Googling something extremely important, the word podcast.
How do I do this?
How podcast.
Yeah.
So they get back to the camp, and Cassian like immediately decides to just like kind of make some verbal passes at Feyre, intentionally trying to work and trying to work Rhys up. And then Rhys and Cassian just fucking go at it, start punching each other, destroying, and also at that moment, all the Illyrians see clock this, and everyone just dips. And then Cassian and Rhys just go at it, And then Feyre and Mor are like, boys, and they walk back to the house.
Let me. I did want some confirmation on this. So the tone of this fight is, oh, boys will be boys. Is that correct?
That's the vibe I got.
Okay.
I was picturing in my mind like Mor and Feyre having their conversation about everything that's going on, while a Superman and Zod style fight is happening in the background in the war camp.
That's kind of fun.
That's a Man of Steel reference, which is Joe's favorite superhero movie.
I prefer when Superman is very dark and gritty and doesn't have any joy or life to it.
Yeah, that's what you love. You were always talking about how much you love Zack Snyder, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I thought the Martha twist was really brilliant and well executed. This is a very timely reference too.
Yeah, everyone's talking about this. Okay, so anyway, they fucking
Who
fight.
is this podcast for? Who is our target demo?
I've asked that question so many times.
I can tell you exactly where our target demo is. I have our analytics page open right now.
Are you clicking?
I'm gonna have to cut this out. Rachel, ignore.
Alexa's gonna fucking
we
kill you.
I'm not. I don't want to
later.
Yeah, I don't want to antagonize Alexa. I'll remove it. I am interested in
I guess
antagonizing Rachel. I
kind of forgot what conversation Mor and Feyre had at this point. They kind of catch up, but I think she just kind of says like "Welcome to the family," and Feyre was very excited about that. But I kind of forgot the details of this.
She walks into the room and everyone's chanting "family, family, family, family."
Okay,
family.
Vin Diesel's there.
Yeah. What I can tell you is that our total audience is 89% of our audience fits in this group. 28 to 34-year-old women from the United States of America.
Great.
So that is our target demo.
Which is basically our age ranges.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that works out.
All right, that's the target. But anyway, yeah. So we basically like get back into kind of like the meat of like the war stuff that's going on, and we're going to talk to the queens because Rhys has, I think he says that he got like a letter back from them and they've agreed to like come meet at the Archeron mansion.
I get so shocked whenever I hear Feyre's last name. I'm like, holy shit, you have a last name.
Yeah,
it's
wow.
crazy.
It is funny because her last name didn't exist in the whole first book.
It's weird. I thought that it was just one of those worlds where like the peasants didn't have last names. You know what I mean? Like how it isn't a lot.
But they
of
weren't
fantasy.
peasants. They were a
right.
rich nobility
They were
until
rich. You're right.
her dad gambled it all away.
I honestly just think that she forgot to give Feyre a last name until
That
the
might
second
have
book, and she
happened.
was like, shit, she doesn't have a last name. I should do that.
Okay, this is my goal with this podcast. I want to get big enough to where we can talk to Sarah. We can get her face to face.
That's my goal, is to have her on the finale episode, like whatever that is.
Why did the first book turn out the way that it did? Because the second book rules, but why was the first book not that way?
Maybe it's like a sunken cost fallacy, right? Like she writes this whole first book, she goes back and reads it, and she's like, this is not great, but I already wrote it. I'm not gonna
I think you're right.
it.
It's like I already wrote this much. I might as well just like retcon and continue. Which like I don't think is a bad thing, but like I agree. Like I think we've talked about this, that there should be like a remaster or a remake of the first book. Like we should get like Digital Extremes or somebody to do like a remaster.
At this rate, we'll have a character come in who then, through a flashback sequence, retcons the events of the first book through their series of events.
Yeah.
That already happened with Rhys last chapter.
Yeah, but they'll redo it again.
No, he's
and
talking about it happening again.
And the AI, because we have, I don't know, a lot of people who listen to this aren't in the Discord, but the AI automatically, Nirav did not prompt it to do this, but the AI on Spotify created chapter titles for the last episode of the podcast, and that chapter is just called Retcon Batman.
Yeah. I don't even remember talking about Batman.
Oh my god, that is...
Oh my god,
that is who Rhys is, though. That's how you describe Rhys. He is retcon Batman.
It's so funny because like I've been trying to remember since you posted that chapter listing. I've been trying to remember this whole. Cause I didn't listen to the episode. I might go back and listen to it, but I was trying to remember like retcon Batman. What the fuck did we talk about for Batman? I don't remember this at all. And it was right now. It clicked into my brain, clicked into place. I was like, oh, that's what retcon Batman is.
Yeah, I do kind of like that, and actually I'm curious now if it's gone back and done like chapter titles for our previous episodes now that it's doing that, but we'll look into that a little bit later. I think
I
that
do
might be
love
fun.
these chapters. It starts off with My Morning, Nerv's Public Apology, A Court of Bros and Bros, Criminal Chapter 50. I don't even know what that's referencing. The Retcon chapter. Oh, there's more Retcon chapter. And then this chapter is just called, the next one's called The Chat, The Court of Nightmares, Retcon Batman, Marvel's Midnight Suns Retcon, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, K-pop Demon Hunters. So fucking
Those are all the things that we talked about, apparently. So I guess that's that.
It's so good.
Yeah, so...
Also, I'm looking at, like, episode 9. We have The Day of Rhys. We have a chapter just called TikTok.
Wait, how are you seeing these? On Spotify?
I think it's,
Yeah,
I
on
think it's
Spotify.
only on the mobile app. I don't think it shows up on desktop.
I don't listen to the podcast on Spotify.
There's a
I
chapter
don't
called
either,
Joe's
but-
Hot Takes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
There's a chapter just called I'm Infallible, which is 100% something I said.
100%. Fuck, that's so good. Hold on, I'm gonna go back to an older one. Chapters auto-generated. Intro, The Mountain, The Bone Carver, The Weaver Farah, Bone... oh my god. The chapters are Bone Carver, The Weaver, Bone Carver and Weaver, outro.
That's all the chapters. I think for our finale episode, we should go back and highlight some great chapter titles.
I agree. That would be a good thing to add in there. Which
Yeah.
also,
Anyways.
like, yeah. Let's get back. So we get to the we get to the meeting with the queens, and they are somehow worse than before.
well, it's only
for the most
two
part.
of them that come, right? Oh,
I think
three of
three
them come?
come. Yeah, 3 of them come. Oh my god, it's fucking balloons. I'm so sick of this shit.
Oh, my camera shit. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
But also before, in chapter 56, it does end with, when they go back to Valaris, Mor, Cassian, Azriel, and Amryn all bow to Feyre and say that they will protect and serve her. And they kind of give her the opportunity to give a speech in which she just says, I don't want you to protect and serve, I just want you to be my friends. But it just shows the
that's
general...
nice.
Sorry? What?
Joe, what'd you say?
Oh, it just shows the general power dynamic of being the High Lord's mate. She's now kind of this true nobility ruling class, kind of.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, though, I think that after she says, like, I just want you to be my friends, I think Mor is the one who's like, well, we can do both.
And then like I think they all kind of say that. Yeah, they're like, we're going to do that. We're going to protect you anyways. So.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we go. Yeah, 3 of the human queens come this time. They say that like the other 3 who didn't show up this time were like so offended by Nesta that they like couldn't possibly bear to be in her presence.
No, yeah,
alone.
I think this writing is confused because only 5 came last time, and so only 2 came this time.
There definitely were. No, I think there were 3 this
time
because
there are yes. So there were 6 total. The first time, one of the eldest queen, I think, said she was sick and couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And then this time, so 5 came last time. This time,
so
you're
2
right,
additional
3
queens
came.
did not come this
2,
time.
and they said, "Oh, Nesta's outburst offended us so greatly, we're gonna stay back." So only 3 showed up this time.
Well, this says they say the other 3 felt offended by how Nesta spoke to them last time. But if you take 3 away from 5, you're left with 2.
I think that's just a mistyping here.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the other.
I think
anyways.
there were definitely 3 of them this time because 2 of them were being jackasses, and then the other one is being like kind of quiet or whatever. The main queen, the head queen.
Well, the main queen is the old one, the ancient one, as they say.
The ancient one.
And then there's the golden queen, who is the one who like, at some point she's. Anyways, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're coming back and they're already kind of like they're already in a shit mood basically, and they kind of cut to the chase. And he shows them Valaris. They bring out the sphere, and they put the sphere on the ground, and it creates like this kind of cool, like holographic, like vision for everyone in the room, which shows them like a view of Valaris as if Rhys is flying through the streets, like it's him flying through the quarters and showing like close up views of all the people being happy and peaceful. And the 2 queens are kind of shocked by this. Like it didn't seem like they were expecting for Rhys to actually deliver on this.
Yeah.
And even the elder queen is like, "Oh, we appreciate your trust," but also fuck you still.
Fuck off, yeah. So one thing I want to throw out, which I was very surprised didn't happen, is that I was fully expecting the queens to be like, oh, well, you've just created an illusion here. This isn't a real place. Like, take me there.
Well, but they know they can't. If they want to get the book, they cannot do it using like deception or magic.
Do the queens know that?
Yeah.
They probably know that there's that curse and hex placed upon it.
Okay. Yeah, I think they know that because I think they also know that if Rhys wanted to, he could fucking kill them in a heartbeat. So like they are counting on that.
Oh, I
like,
see. That makes sense.
It needs to be given freely. Yeah.
Yeah, so he shows the orb to show them all of Valaris, like all of it. To kind of, and then he even explains his persona, that this is like the place of peace, that he has crafted the Court of Nightmares persona to protect. So he even kind of gives away that, you know, the Rhys persona as well.
Yeah, I think that makes sense then. Okay, so yeah, the queens like see Valaris and they're like, wow, this is beautiful. What a wonderful world. What a wonderful world we live in. Also, get fucked. And so
we'll think about it. And then Nesta gets pretty pissed again, and she's like, "What do you mean you'll fucking think about it?"
And they also try to be like, "Oh, maybe Nesta shouldn't be here because she's a little bitch boy." And like they were like, "Hey, Nesta, this is her fucking house, and she's the one hosting us here. So maybe like show some respect a little bit." Which I'm glad they actually did kind of jump to defend her because like. I understand there's like a civility that needs to be had, but like also these queens are like fucking awful, so like go off.
Yeah,
and Cassian steps in, tells Nesta very heartfeltly that he would basically die to protect her.
Yeah, and I was like,
and her people. Yeah, we're finally getting that Cassian Nesta arc that we predicted. But he showed like that her outburst kind of wins his true favor there, and to a degree it seems like his heart. But the queens also explain. Oh, also before I explain this, so I don't know. I googled this, not the spoiler of the book, but Moore keeps saying "I am the Morrigan." I'm like, why do you keep saying it like that? Like, that's clearly a title, and also Sarah J. Maas likes to. She's taken a lot of things from other mythologies, so the Morrigan is a figure from Irish mythology.
Oh.
And it's kind of a goddess of war and fate. I guess like foretelling doom, death, or victory in battle, a goddess of battle and war, and a manifestation of like
the Harbinger.
I guess like a guardian of territory and people.
Okay.
So it seems like that's kind of what her role, and especially with her role in the battle, that seems to be what she's kind of pulling from. Because I was wondering personally, why does she keep saying the Morrigan?
I also had that same thought, because like later on, I think somebody even says that about her too. Like they know what that is.
They said that at the first meeting. They said that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you're the Morrigan.
Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, I thought that was your name. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. So the queens are like, oh, you guys are manipulating us, like, and Nesta's like, get fucked, and then she actually ends up like falling into like begging them to help, and so the queens end up leaving, but
the queens we also finally get a reveal. We get a reveal of what the original letter that Rhys wrote to them was. Yeah. Rhys basically wrote them like a love letter, professing like his love to Feyre, like talking about how like the woman of his like that he loves, like it's a whole. He goes on about it, and it's interesting because he wrote that before any of the events of the last chunk happened, like before she confessed to him, before the mating bong snapped into place for her, before like she knew any of this. He fully wrote that letter, which is like a kind of a nice like, you know, to show kind of a confirmation of how he felt before any of this happened.
Yeah, sure.
And we also find out after the fact that like the Golden Queen was actually moved by this letter. Because during this whole, while they're visiting, at some point in time, Feyre notices that the Golden Queen like drops her handkerchief and leans down to pick it up, and then after the queens say "fuck off," we'll think about this and then leave. Well, also during the whole exchange, Feyre notes that Rhys is being weirdly quiet. He's not begging them. He's not saying anything at all. He's not trying to convince them otherwise. He's just not saying anything. And Feyre's kind of like, that's weird. And then as soon as the queens leave, she sees a box on the ground underneath the Golden Queen's, where the Golden Queen was sitting. And she's like, oh, this is why Rhys was being quiet. He noticed that she put the box down, and he was just like anxious about the other queens finding it and begging them to leave, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've opened the box and they find the other.
I know what you're
book in
thinking.
there.
It is not a dick in a box situation. That was my first thought.
It is an ear, actually. That's
What?
a Van Gogh reference.
Oh yeah, sick reference to Van Gogh.
Yeah,
Nice.
you know, classic.
That's almost as timely as our fucking Batman v Superman references.
Well, it was because he Dick in the Box. There's that whole Dick in the Box Van Gogh thing, and it's also he cuts off his ear for whatever. Anyways,
Yeah.
fucking who cares? Anyways, it's the other book in the box, as well as a note from the Golden Queen talking about how she was moved by the love letter. And so she was planning to she was kind of basically planning to give him the book anyways, and then the vision of Valaris seemed like it kind of fully convinced her to leave it.
Which I think it's one thing that the Elder Queen, the Ancient One, is seems to be pretty cool and reasonable, but the thing is that the other queens are fucking awful, and they genuinely seem to not. They seem like they
no
would be
the elder queens suck. It's the Golden Queen who's the young one who's Feyre's age.
Oh, sorry. Is she the one? Okay, I got that mixed up then. Okay.
Yeah. The one who's Feyre's age is the one who's kind of cool and more seems like she's actually kind of a little more logical about this, and she understands the threat that's happening, whereas the Elder Queen, who's the one that's kind of a bitch, who's just
Yeah. So Rhys basically is okay, we got this half of the book. I got to get this to Amren, and then we have to decode it and all that shit. But to Elaine and Nesta, he's hey, you guys should come with us, or if you want to stay here, I'll leave some sentries here. But I do think that you need to come to Valaris with us, because you're going to become a huge target at this point. And I really thought they were going to go. I was kind of surprised that Elaine was still holding on to no, I have to get married, I have to stay here. I think
also their dad is on a trip. Their dad is still away on a business trip. So it could be it could be that partially as well, where they're kind of hesitant to leave until he's back. And it just it is in their defense, it's a little sudden to be hey, you can leave right now if you want. It's we haven't even packed.
But he does offer them hey, if you want, talk to my sentries, if you want to come, they'll take you to us if things get dangerous, which is actually, that was really nice of them to do, was to have these people posted up around the house and everything to kind of keep them safe. So I think that we are going to see them. I will say this, I think this is not a crazy prediction, but Elaine and Nesta are going to full-time have to move to Valaris before the end of this book due to whatever events are about to occur.
I think that probably makes sense that happens before the end of this book, because we only really have we have 6 or 7 chapters left.
We have 6 chapters left after this.
6 chapters. That's not that much time, but I feel like they'll probably move before the end of this book.
Yeah.
Especially too with what happens later. Clearly, that 6th queen or one of the queens is an informant to Hybern.
Oh, I think all of them are.
Or all of them are, yeah, at least one
I
of
was
them.
curious if you guys thought that, because I thought, at first I was oh, which of the queens leaked it? And then I was oh, they fucking all probably did.
They've all, I think they've all been in Hybern's pocket even since before the first meeting, which is why that one queen didn't show up.
Do you think that, I don't know, the youngest queen is the one that ended up giving them the book, right, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, so, is it maybe that she just hasn't, had enough time to really fall under Hybern's spell or whatever?
I think she's still I think it's the whole thing of Hybern and the entire all the queens have been talking for a while, and then it's just the Golden Queen maybe having some doubts. Although this does raise the question of if the queens have been aligned with Hybern, why didn't they give Hybern the book?
I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
I don't. Maybe they weren't all aligned with Hybern. Maybe it's just
Maybe it was one of them just like kind of turned or something, but like, or is this all part of the plan?
It's probably the one that was the sixth queen that pretended to be sick is probably just the informant, and then when she heard about everything else, like when all this was relayed back to her, is when, well, I guess we'll find out. But
okay,
it's probably just that sixth queen.
I bet it's all.
Theory,
I feel like it's all the queens, right? Because they all suck.
Alternate theory: all the King of Hybern is playing 5D chess right now, and he wanted one of the queens to like basically leak the book to them so that they would come to his castle and bring like Rhys and their most powerful people there so that he could trap them and ambush them.
And then with the books to reunite the books
yes.
with the cauldron.
And maybe it's something he can't even do for some reason. Maybe it's something Feyre had to do for some magic reason. I don't know.
Yeah, because you got to wonder, like, if he knew where the two books were, which it seems like he probably did, and he was already aligned with the queens, why can't he have just gotten the piece of the book himself?
I don't know. Maybe it is my 5D chess theory. Let's see. But
okay.
Yeah, that you're right. I didn't even think about that. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. However, it is still possible one of the queens was just like turned or whatever and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna tell them what happened." So we go back to
the other queens. All immediately go back and tell. Whatever. We're gonna ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. So yeah, they go back to Valaris, and Amryn gets the book. She's like, she shuts herself in a room with a big bucket of blood, and she's like, "Oh, fucking lock it in," and then is like gonna decode it, and then she basically Feyre's like, "Hey, thank you to Cassian. Like, what you did for Nesta is like really important, and she's gonna remember that." Like, there's like a little notification in the corner that says Nesta will remember that, and she's like, Nesta is like not very sociable or personable to like everybody she meets, but like when she like really like cares about somebody or like really trusts somebody, she'll die for you, and I think you've like earned her trust. So that was definitely a foreshadowing of the oncoming romantic drama that is surely going to unfold.
I think the foreshadowing of the drama was them fucking arguing with each other earlier in the book.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, yeah, it's been coming for a while, but I think this is something that won't get explored till the next book, though.
Yeah.
Just there's
definitely.
not time. There just isn't time.
Agreed.
So yeah, they are. So Amryn is working on the book. Everything's going totally normal. Nothing weird happening here. And everyone's just kind of being very casual. And then what happens?
Well, I don't know where. Not everyone's here though, right? Like, Moore is back in the Nightmare Court, right? Because
yes.
she's bringing the orb back to her home.
Yes.
I couldn't remember where's Rhys during this because he's not there. It's just Feyre, Amryn, Cassian, and
Azriel is there?
And Azriel that are all
You're right.
in Valaris.
Rhys
and Moore.
I don't know where it was. He was somewhere, but you're right. He wasn't at the.
He was somewhere specific.
He was somewhere specific. He even said like, I have to go do this or whatever. But
yeah, so he wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't there. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, so Azriel, I think is watching the house, and Amryn is deep in trying to translate the other book. So then Cassian and Feyre go for a walk, and Cassian is like. Refuses to, like, they basically, Pharaoh's like, you can leave me alone. Cassian's like, nope, I'm not leaving you alone. I am your protector now, da-da-da-da-da. So they're walking around the city, and as they're kind of, like, stopped, like, a viewpoint is kind of what I envisioned. Pharaoh sees something in the distance, like, looking out over the ocean. She sees something in the distance, and then realizes it's basically, like, an army of flying creatures flying towards the city. And as they come in and attack, Cassian throws, like, he uses his little orb on his wrist, his stone,
pew,
and
pew.
Throws up like a giant, like, holographic shield that that all the enemies are suddenly like beating against.
Yeah.
And it's
Hybern
showing up to attack.
So
but before that, like, he like gets this like weird like black armor that appears around him.
Oh yeah, he touches
like unknowingly. Stone. He doesn't mean to do that.
No, he does. He means to do it.
I didn't think he did.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think they see the threat. They see that like Feyre comments on the threat she sees over the horizon, and then he touches the stone on his wrist, and when he does it, like black, like shell-like armor starts to engage over his body. Like basically, it's like the Iron Man gauntlet. He uses the little Iron Man gauntlet, and then armor spreads across his body.
Huh. I kind of thought he had done it intentionally, I guess, but maybe I might have to go back and see.
Yeah, I think it was intentional.
Yeah. Anyway, so the shield is like, you know, about to crack and everything, and also this is really important to me. We find out this army of flying creatures all are like whatever species the adder is, and they are described as having serpentine faces. Thus, clarifying once and for all that Rachel has been gaslighting us all along, and we know the adder is a big snake man.
Adder's a big snake, flying snake man.
Yep, he's got big old snake wings. So anyway, I'm glad to be vindicated in that way. Thank you, Sarah, for clarifying.
Yep,
that meant a lot to me. So,
if you want to further reinforce the point that the adder is a flying snake man, write into the podcast. If you disagree, don't bother.
Yeah. If you disagree, you can write into our email account, which is Joe, what was the email again you said earlier?
tamwinsgspot69@gmail.
Thank you. Do you think that's taken? Could we get that? We'll check later. Okay. So Feyre, her first kind of reaction when the army is coming in, obviously she's like, fuck, the queen sold us out, which, like, yeah, I really didn't expect it to be that fast. Like, I really thought maybe one of the queens would sell them out. I did not think it would happen the day of. Like,
no way, man. That was so much faster than we thought it would be. It was basically the next, like, they got back home and they're like, quick, this is where Valaris is. And then, like, Hybern wastes no time in attacking Valaris.
Does Hybern know about the existence of a Valaris or a city? Is that something that he knew?
I don't know.
He just didn't know where it was or, like, how to get there?
See, this is why I question the whole Ianthe thing, though, right? Because I question specifically Ianthe knowing about Valaris. Because I think at one point Joe is like, Ianthe definitely knows about Valaris and she's just biding her time. But I don't think... If Ianthe knew about where Valaris was, I don't think... Because the timing of this is too suspect, right? Like, they tell the queen and like, the Hybern attack.
Is it too suspect, though? Is it, like, actually too suspect to where it's supposed to be, like, this doesn't make sense? Like, it was...
No, I think the queens go back, they tell Hybern... Because Valaris has been a secret until, like, that moment where they show that footage to everyone outside of Valaris. Given how secretive and how protective we know Rhys is of Valaris, I doubt Ianthe's ever heard of Valaris before.
Yeah, my opinion has changed on that theory. I think it is just the queens leaked it.
I think that the I do still kind of feel like you're the theory on, like, Ianthe, like, working with, like, Hybern might have some
Oh
weight
yeah,
to
I
it,
think
but,
she
like,
is. I don't think she knows about Valaris.
No, I agree. It's a different thing. Although, I don't know, I feel like the Queen's thing is just too easy because of how, just because of how stories are usually written. Like, Feyre's initial reaction is, the Queen sold us out. Like, it doesn't really feel like that. It feels too obvious almost. But
I mean...
maybe I'm giving too much credit.
But the adder drops the Golden Queen onto a lamppost and it impales her body.
That is true. So, like...
I think we're overthinking this a little bit. I think
you're right. You're right. I think you're right. I think the queens were already allied with Hybern. This one betrayed Hybern to give them the book, so she gets impaled on a lamppost. I mean, it's the simplest explanation, but we'll see.
So yeah, the Cassian is urging Feyre to go back to the house because the house is protected with its own wards, which means she'd be safe there. And she's like, "No, fuck you, I'm not going back to the house." And then Cassian doesn't Cassian like give her a knife?
He gives her something, because he has like a, I don't remember, but he gives her some kind of weapon. I remember that she ends up making a bunch of water wolves, which was cool. And I was like, "Yay, water animals!"
Don't jump ahead. The water wolves is dope as fuck. But yeah, so basically Cassian creates a force field around them, and they're just getting absolutely battered by Hybern's soldiers. And eventually Cassian's like, "You need to leave now because I'm spending effort trying to protect you instead of fighting these guys," basically.
Yeah.
So then I think as Feyre's about to go, that's when the adder flies in and drops the Golden Queen onto a lamppost. And it basically, I imagine just like impaling like fucking ass to head, full on, like impaling her
full
whole
ass
body.
to mouth impaling.
Yeah, and then like her like head is back, and Feyre notes that her body has been like whipped and her eyes are gouged out. So not only was she killed just then, like she was tortured prior to this. So they tortured her and then impaled her on this. And Feyre, like, when she sees her body there, and also worth noting, before this, Feyre was kind of reflecting on the Golden Queen, and she's like, oh my gosh, like, we could totally be BFFs. Like, this girl seems so cool. I can't wait to hang out with the Golden Queen later.
Well, I can't wait for our many hangout sessions to come.
Yeah, and then this happens. And Feyre's gut reaction is, oh my gosh, I can heal her. And then she looks at the body, and she's like, no. She's
that was
dead.
kind of sad, too, because it's like, I don't know, like,
it's hard to make friends as an adult, so I really felt for Feyre at this point.
I agree. Okay, so yeah, then Feyre's like, all right, fuck it, we ball, and then she like summons the water wolves, and they're like, oh.
Well, she's running back to the villa.
Artist court. Yeah. Well,
and then she's running back to the villa. You're right. She doesn't really know what to do. Yeah. And then as she's running back, she sees the artist quarter, which is like the rainbow of Valaris, because like all like the street is painted like a rainbow, I think, and it's like all the stores are colorful because it's the artist quarter. So she's running back, and I think as she's running, she sees Cassian, because like a lot is happening at once. So she sees Cassian engaging the enemies, and then Azriel flies down. And then I imagine like Cassian and Azriel like back to back. They both have like a blue shield and a red shield, and they're both like using their shields to just like mow down. Like they're flying through the air, mowing down bits of Hybern soldiers. And then also she sees in the very distance, she sees Amren out on the beach. And she doesn't know, we don't know yet what Amren's doing. But
she's hulking out.
Amren's just, no, she's not though. Amren's just walking. She's not lifting a finger, and like dozens of Hybern soldiers are just falling dead around her. And we do find out what's happening later, but like at the time, we don't know what's happening, and it's not like we don't need to bury the lead on this. We find out that Amren she's killing people in three ways. One, she's basically hacking,
I remember this now. Yeah,
she's hacking into all their minds. Yeah. One, she's making them think that they are in the river drowning, so they drown, like their brains think they're drowning. They die that way. Two, as they're flying in to fight, they make them think that the ground is a lot further away than it is, so they just fly full speed straight into the ground and crush themselves. And then the third thing is she fills their brains with such horrible nightmares that they go mad and they die.
They die because their heart stops out of terror.
Yes, their heart stops out of terror.
Which was like, I was like, fuck.
Badass. Amren is sick. This isn't exactly the hulking out we imagined for Amren.
No, you're right. You're right, because this is not it. Because the hulking out we imagine is when she breaks out of her like physical form she's trapped in.
So maybe they saved that for the next book.
Amren.
Yeah. So this was cool though. Like I remember that.
So Feyre's walking back to the villa, and then she's
going back to the villa because her initial idea is to try to like herd as many people and civilians into the villa as possible because it has like extra protection on it and stuff.
Yeah. So she's like she wasn't like at this point she wasn't ready to fight. She was just kind of thinking she'll protect people. Yeah. But then she sees the artist quarter under attack, and she's like, "Fuck this." So she walks into the river and she just like sucks in a bunch of water into her body using her water bending powers. And then she walks to the rainbow area, and she then uses her water to just like, she creates a bunch of water wolves a la fucking Lord of the Rings. When Arwen turns the water into the horses to attach the ring rates.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So she makes it the water. She like summons like a wave and creates a bunch of water wolves. But these water wolves like break off from the water, and there's just water wolves rampaging through the streets, like jumping down the throats of the Hybern soldiers and drowning them. And she's murdering a bunch of people using the water wolves. And then the Hybern soldiers then take to the skies and try taking off. And they're kind of like, haha, you can't get us in the sky. So she turns the water wolves into like hawks, and she gets all of them wet. And they kind of look at her like, we're fucking wet. What now? And then she clenches her fist and freezes all of them. And they all just fall to the earth and shatter. So she's basically just walking through the like just fucking freaking chaos, murdering people through the rainbow.
This scene is what convinced me that this absolutely cannot be like a live action thing. This needs to be animated. There's no fucking way,
dude. It's sick as hell, man.
This would cost $400 million to make this movie.
Dude, it'd be awesome. And then the Adder sees all this, and the Adder is finally like, the Adder's like, fine, like, I gotta get out of here. The Adder tries to fully dip, and then Feyre sees the Adder flying away, and is like, fuck no, he can't get away. And like, she's kind of upset at first, like, she can't fly. How do I get to him? And then she decides to just start winnowing through the air. She like does winnow jumps through the air, winnows, and then winnows on top of him. She gets 2 ash arrows out that I think
but the whole time, Rhys is finally in Valaris and is contacting her mentally, saying, "You need to stop. Like, where are you? Where are you? Where are you?"
I'm imagining,
and she blocks him out.
Where is she? Where is she?
Yeah, retcon Batman
Retcon
arrives.
Batman. Okay, yeah.
And so she completely shuts him out. Like, she just locks down her mental shields and is like, "No, I'm fucking killing the Adder.
She's in fucking
This thing
murder
is
mode."
dying." Yeah.
So she
I am
drives
committing
ash
a murder.
arrows. She drives ash arrows through both of the Adder's wings, so he can't fly anymore. And then she like lights her hands on fire, and is just burning all of the, like, just grabbing the Adder and just burning his flesh. And the Adder is just screaming in agony and begging for this to end. And then Feyre is just like, they're just plummeting towards the earth, and Feyre's like, I guess this is how I die. Like, I'm okay with this as long as I take the Adder down with me. And they're plummeting closer and closer to the earth.
I also like that she was like, oh, sorry, go, yeah, I don't get ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, she's plummeting closer and closer to the earth, and then she gets close enough to the ground that she sees her reflection in the water on the stones, and at the last possible second, she winnows away onto the ground, and I think she lands with the fucking, like, slide backwards anime stance, like, hand up in the air, and then the Adder just crunches to the ground and dies.
Yeah. So I like that when she was doing this, though, she does stab the Adder, and she's like, "This is for Rhys, and this is for Claire, my good friend."
Oh, yeah.
Claire Better, who...
I forgot about that. I forgot about
By
the
the way,
stabbing and then saying it.
So the Adder, I think, was the one who, like, did the torturing of Claire, right?
Yes.
But, yeah, because I remember we had decided, like, Tweedledee and Tweedledum had, like, burned her house down and killed her family for some reason.
Yep.
But, like, yeah, so I like that. One last shout out for Claire, a true maverick. And, yeah, so the Adder.
By the way, guys,
dead.
Real quick aside. Remember when we were recording the first book and we were talking about the Adder? Mm-hmm. And you're like, well, we shouldn't Google the Adder because we'll find out when it dies. And I said, oh, I just did. Oh, well, I had Googled Adder. And the first fucking word is Adder, killed by Feyre, and I was like, fuck me.
Dude,
so I've known this entire time that Feyre kills the Adder.
We've talked
and
about
it was
this
still cool. It was a sick moment, so I didn't
yeah.
have that spoiled for me at least, but I knew Feyre killed him.
No, I mean, we've had, like, literally the worst thing I ever did, and this is the last time I Googled anything, was to try to Google, because we're listening to the audiobook, so I, like, was writing Feyre's name, and I couldn't remember how to spell it, and I Googled just Feyre, and that was a fucking gigantic mistake. Mm-hmm. Like, the first thing that shows up in the first result is a giant spoiler.
Have we gotten to it yet?
Yeah.
No.
Wait.
No, we haven't. No.
Oh, you're right. No. Oh, yeah. Never mind. No, we haven't.
No, we have not.
Joe, do you know it too?
I did. I made the same
He
mistake.
did the exact same mistake. Yeah. Just don't do it.
Well, I was looking for. I think it was like Substack porn or like Tumblr porn.
Okay.
When we were podcast. Joe was just looking for porn.
In the same fashion that I went and typed in podcast to Google, Joe just typed in porn. It was kind of like trying to see what would come up. But
I think I also was genuinely, for me, I was like, what does Feyre look like? I want a good mental image when I'm reading. And then I was like, this is a mistake. I saw the exact same. Nirav and I talked about it off air on what we saw, and we're talking about this. Yeah,
we'll reveal it at probably the end of the book or whenever it comes.
Yeah, out. It's probably the third or fourth book, because the fifth book is a different character.
Book.
So
yeah.
the third book I think ends Feyre's trilogy, and then the fourth book The fourth book is like a short little like transition book, and then the fifth book is a new POV, right?
All right, so third book then.
So. Lindsay gave me some non-spoiler clarification on this yesterday, actually. The first 3 books do act as a trilogy, basically, but the fourth book continues on from where the third book ends with a new character POV.
Yeah.
And it's not about Rhys and Feyre anymore, although they are still doing this and that in the background, and they do appear occasionally in books 4 and 5, et cetera, et cetera.
My theory is that books 4 and 5 are follows their child.
That'd be a big time skip, but it very much. Oh man, I didn't even think about that.
I think it's still a female protagonist. I think
it might.
They could have more than one kid.
They could also have multiple POVs. Like, it could switch around between several people. Because I know that she had told me, like, without any spoilers again, like, the decision of what character they chose to follow is, like, really controversial and, like, split the fan base a lot. So I'm curious.
It's fucking Tamlin.
Oh my god!
Crazy.
That's so good.
That'd be so fucking funny. Oh no, that'd be so bad. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. That would be really good. Although the fact that you said it's like their child makes me be like, that would be, I think, controversial and splitting of the fan base.
Yep. And we do know if we do know that the child who shows up in the Bone Carver is their child, that means we do get at least some time skip, right?
Yeah, there has to be.
Because we're going to have to see him a little older.
Yeah, it would be, like, at least...
Well, we don't know how they age, necessarily.
True. And we're all also speculating based on spoilers, we probably shouldn't know.
That's true. Didn't we decide that the fairies age to 35 and then stop aging?
I don't think we decided that. I think that's explicitly stated in the book.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was, like, a thing where they, like, grow at, like, half the rate or something, or if they just... Or if it's a fucking, again, to bring up Twilight, this baby is going to turn 18 in 3 days, and then you can fuck the baby.
Oh, gross.
I don't like that.
But,
Stephanie,
yeah, I actually do know...
Stephanie, if you're listening, and I know you are, I don't like that you did that. That made me really uncomfortable.
It's crazy that Stephanie's a listener on our podcast, and the fact that she's written into you to confirm this.
She's been writing into that Gmail account Joe listed for after every episode.
It's great. On our season 3 finale, we should probably read all the emails she wrote. There's some good stuff in there.
Great. Thanks for that work, Patrick. Now I'm gonna have to generate an entire list of fake emails from Stephanie Meyer to read.
Please do that. Actually,
yeah.
Okay. But I do know one spoiler as well. But I think mine's because from I think I alluded to this briefly in the first book from Moode. A couple of the characters that have shown up in Moode, which was a fucking huge spoiler, and I don't think that spoiler that I know is gonna come up until like the third book.
Okay, yeah, well, at the end of the third book, we'll have to all share our spoilers that we knew the whole time we shouldn't have. Okay, so the battle kind of continues and is sort of winding down because they have done it, like, basically the whole of Valaris has kind of come together and people are, like, defending their land and everything. Amren and Rhys and Cassian and all of them are all out fucking getting, like, fucking hundreds of headshots per minute.
Just to rewind a second, when Feyre's killing the Adder and Rhys is looking for her, yelling, like, where are you? She does kind of, like, glance over her shoulder briefly, and she sees Rhys basically like a black cloud of destruction flying through the air, destroying Hybern soldiers to find her.
Nice.
But then once Rhys does find her, she's kind of, like, in shock from everything she just did, and Rhys is kind of like... Sorry. Rhys is kind of like, hey, are you okay? Like, he's mad and also kind of impressed at the same time. He's mad that he's mad.
Sorry, the balloons came up again.
The fucking Apple camera balloons pop up.
Okay, the Apple camera, we've talked about this before, but whenever Patrick does, like, he holds up 2 fingers like a peace sign, a bunch of balloons fly up on his screen.
It's very funny. So yeah, he's mad that, like, that she shut him out, but he's also, like, impressed that she was able to, in the moment, like, while she's doing everything she's doing, put up an adamant wall that was adamant?
An adamantium wall.
Adamantium wall that was strong enough to keep him out. So he's, like, generally, like, impressed, and he doesn't scold her, which is nice. He's kind of just, like, impressed at everything she did, and then he also is comforting her. Like, I think he hugs her, and he's like, hey, it's cool. And then she kind of, like, grounds back to gets grounded again because she's having a bit of a panic attack about everything that's happened.
Yeah, which is, I think, understandable, because, like, I was also, like, I have to say, like, this chapter was written well, because it was, like, so frantically started that I was still like, what's happening? Like, because
It's a little
that was
nuts.
it was a very sudden attack. Like, I was absolutely not expecting it even a little bit when it hit, so.
Which is probably pretty good. Like, our guard was completely down, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So they basically have secured Valaris and, defended the city. Now, they put up a bunch of wards again, and they said they're like, okay, they're stronger this time. Like, we know what we're fighting against, but, like, it's obviously not impenetrable.
And I had the question of, like, oh, we put up wards and they're stronger than the first ones. I'm like,
it's like, why didn't you just use the strong ones before?
Why didn't you use the strong ones in the first place?
If I was at that meeting when they were like putting up ideas on the whiteboard for like how strong the wards should be, I would be like, make them the strongest that they can be, just at the beginning.
Yep.
And
no,
I think
we'll make them like a 7. It's fine.
It's because they didn't want to use too much like mana or like fucking crystals or whatever that their in-game currency is. The resource.
Yeah, they had to do. It's like a what is a ritual spell? It's a ritual spell, and they had all these specific ingredients they needed. They were a pain in the ass to find.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, their DM makes them actually find all the ingredients and specifically buy them at the market.
Yeah,
get yourself a sprig of thyme, idiot. But like, yeah. So Feyre's like, okay, we need to. So Amryn says like, okay, I figured out what we need to do. You can nullify the cauldron's power. You have to touch it, and you have to recite this like incantation, basically here.
But she's like, but don't say the incantation yet. Say it in your head. Don't say it now, or like some shit will go down.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, you don't have to tell me twice. If somebody hands me an incantation, they're like, don't say this. I'm like, you don't have to tell me that. I'm not gonna say it.
But Feyre's been like practicing it over and over and over again in her head this entire time. And the other explicit instruction Amryn gives her is, and don't let the two books touch. Absolutely. Under any circumstances.
Which 100% locks in that the two books are going to touch.
Yeah. But Amryn's like, never let the books touch, or it'll cause a basically like fucking nuke that will destroy half the planet or whatever.
Yeah.
And then draw every type of enemy that's ever been created or existed to
That's what it was.
the power.
Yeah, it's like
she was like, it'll pull in creatures from other realms and shit.
It's gonna pull in creatures from other realms. Everybody who knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man from any realm is gonna get pulled in to here. And so, Feyre starts practicing, and she's like, okay, I will do this. Like, she has to touch the cauldron and say the incantation. But, of course, to get to the cauldron, they have to go to the king's castle. Cassian is I keep mixing up which one is the spy master. Is it Azrael? So Azrael's guys, or whoever, spies inside the Hybern's castle have been like, okay, we know that the cauldron is being kept on the lower levels, so he's like, okay, so we don't have like as big of an area to search. We'll basically just tear through this dungeon, this procedurally generated dungeon of like goons, and to go through all these hallways and rooms until we find the cauldron. And so they're like, they basically come up with this plan, like, where I think even they were like, we were thinking about doing this eventually, but obviously things have changed now that they know where we are. We have to do this like today, and here's the plan. So
well, they do it the next day after the Valaris attack, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's the day after.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because Amryn is like, I remember at the debrief of the attack, Amryn's like, and for now we have to eat and sleep, and then tomorrow we fucking ride at dawn.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, we ride at dawn. Yeah, she says that, which is cool.
And importantly, Rhys is going to be staying outside while Feyre goes into the stronghold. Rhys will be outside keeping watch.
Rhys is the getaway car.
Yes, he is the getaway car. So he's basically sitting in the Batmobile, like right outside of the grounds.
He's like sitting there being like, I can't believe they fucking made me wait outside. This sucks.
Yeah. So then the reason is because like he's too strong, and like they would know if he was in there, which is probably true anyway. So. And they also
he also can't. It'll take too long to fly there, but he can't winnow, and Feyre can't winnow that far yet. So they're like winnowing them in groups. Like they're all winnowing in different groups to get to the shores of Hybern.
They basically are doing that math problem where it's like, I have Feyre and like a goat and a bag of feed here, and I need to get them all across the river, but I can only fit 2 things in the boat at once.
So they do that. They leave Rhys outside. Amryn stays back in Valaris to protect Valaris.
Yeah.
Which feels like a real narrative convenience thing to not have the most powerful creature in the world. And
it's the same reason that in like all those like early Avengers movies, they're like, Thor, you got to stay over here. Like,
yeah, Thor, you got to put Hulk away for some reason.
Yeah, Thor, you need to be busy fighting your brother, the only other god, while the rest of us fight a bunch of dudes. Like, that's basically. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. So, I think also. I was actually curious at this part. I was wondering if they're setting it up for Amryn to like have to actually defend the city by herself like that.
I honestly think they're just removing her from the Hybern equation, so they don't have to worry about her there.
Yeah, power scaling is hard in fantasy, guys. Okay, so anyway, the plan is for them to winnow over there in groups out, like kind of outside of the grounds, and then for Cassian and Azrael to like physically fly them in, and it's like Feyre and Mor, and then the two of them are the sort of infiltration team. So I imagine them doing some sort of like Ocean's 11 like black suits kind of thing, you know. They've all got those ski caps on or whatever.
I think that was the plan. I imagine like Cassian or Mor had this really cool plan with matching outfits. And then Amryn was like, we have to do it tomorrow. Mor was like, fuck, the outfits aren't done yet.
Amazon says they'll be here in 2 days.
But yeah, they go to the castle, and I didn't remember this detail, but I remember them talking about the castle being like empty. And Alexa was saying they intentionally timed it with the changing of the guard.
Yeah, they did. They did say that.
Okay, I missed
they said
that.
There was a shift change, so there's like a 5-minute space where there's like no guards that are outside on the ground, so they're able to like fly through into the under like the dungeons really quickly. Which I think happens. I know this is a real thing that would happen in real life, but I feel like let's sneak in while the guards are changing is just like it's in everything ever. You know
it's pretty cliche, and also it makes you wonder why all these people don't just have the guards have a 5-minute overlap in their shifts instead of a 5-minute gap in their shifts.
This is it's like what they should do is have like a third of the guards change at this time, and then a third of the guards change 2 hours later, etc.
Or why not just one guard's shift ends at 10 o'clock and the other guard's shift starts at 9:55, so there's a 5-minute overlap, and then they tag team each other and then they go change shifts. Like, why do they have to like leave, clock out completely?
Yeah, like why don't you just show up at the same? Like, why don't you just walk up like near your guard? You're standing.
Oh
there
yeah, you
being
wait
a guard.
for the person to show up.
Yes.
Yeah, I walk up and say, "Hey,
like
it's 10 o'clock. Like it's time for you to leave. It's my turn." And then I stand in your spot immediately, and then you walk off.
And there's some I think it's just probably there's some weird labor laws in Hybern that like.
Wait, why is Hybern the one who's imposing like labor protection laws, and fucking Tamlin is over here doing whatever the fuck he wants?
It makes you really question.
That's how his daddy did it.
Tamlin would like hate like European labor protection laws.
Oh, he'd be so mad about him.
Tamlin would hate France so much.
They work 25 hours a week.
Women have rights.
Women can vote.
But before they get to the castle, Rhys and Feyre share a bedroom, and he gives her finally the foreshadowed
I can't believe
mother's ring.
we skipped this shit.
Oh yeah, the ring. Okay, so we talked about this. This is exactly. I think it was Joe or one of you.
It was me.
Of you said this.
We all thought it was.
No. I said that wedding ring is the engagement ring, and you're both like, "Oh shit."
Bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
Bullshit.
I'm saying I agree. I know one of you thought of it, and I agreed with you when you said that.
Yeah, we didn't. I don't know who said it, but like, if Patrick said it, I would have disagreed with obvious.
No, I didn't say you disagreed. I said that there was an engagement ring, and you're both like, "Oh, nice." Like
that's fair. Yeah.
Good pull. Oh, nice, dude.
Nice,
dude.
Sick.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
And then you guys both did the shaka afterwards.
Yeah, Joe did a hang 10 for our listeners.
That's the shaka.
Sorry, what?
This is shaka.
Is that what that's? Oh, is that
shaka,
what that's
bro.
called?
Yeah,
okay,
shaka.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not to be confused with the shocker.
Sorry. Oh my god.
Yeah, I gave her the shaka.
I don't like that because that's also my boss's name. But whatever.
Shaka?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like an African name.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is shaka. Like this is like Hawaii and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay,
by the way, for those we acknowledge that we're doing a bunch of hand gestures on an audio
a lot
medium.
Of hand gestures. Hey, could you throw me some balloons real quickly?
Yeah, sure. I got you.
Oh, now
Apple
they're
not
not
okay. I was like,
working.
that's
There they
way too fucking long for the balloons to show up. But for those listening, which is everyone, Shaka is like the hang 10 symbol where you have your pinky and your thumb out. Or for anyone over the age of 30, it's like when you make a fake phone call, that hand symbol.
Oh, okay. When you're your improv group, you're doing an improv thing and you're making a phone call. Except
You're not
don't do
supposed
that.
You're not supposed to do that.
Do it like you're holding a smartphone. It's like this. I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to Joe because he's the one
No,
who
but
can
like,
see me,
if you pantomime, if you ask anyone over the age of 30 to pantomime,
No, but you're not supposed to do that in improv, though.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
But,
that's what I mean. But like, if you
Because
ask,
now you've
you
limited
hold the
yourself
item.
to holding a specific object.
Yeah. Okay.
if you ask, but if you ask anyone over the age of 30 to pantomime a phone, they do the whole pinky and thumb thing.
Yes,
But any
for sure.
young kids, if you do it now, they just hold a flat palm to their hand.
Really?
Yes. I think
I
that's
hate
crazy.
that.
I don't
I
like
hate
that.
that so
Ew.
much.
Ew.
I hate that so fucking much.
We have to end science. Okay.
Anyway, Rhys like gives her the mother's ring, and he kind of gives more backstory on it.
Yeah.
That we knew that he gave it to her, and that, but he explains that his mother told him that if he were to marry or mate, his mate has to get it. That she has to be smart enough or strong enough to get
Or, like,
it
crafty
back.
enough?
Because if
Yeah.
she is neither, then she can't last the marriage with Rhys.
Which is pretty funny. Like, we kind of thought that was Rhys testing Feyre, but it was actually Rhys's mom who baked that test into the engagement. Which is kind of a fun way of, like, Rhys's mom kind of being involved in the engagement.
Being
even
a
though
sort of
she's
a
gone.
bridezilla.
Yeah.
Or a momzilla.
Monster-in-law.
Yeah, monster-in-law. Thank you. Wait, remind me again. Is Rhys's mom alive still?
No. She was
I didn't
killed
think so.
by
Okay.
Tamlin.
Tamlin's dad killed her.
Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. So even from beyond the grave, she's continuing to be a monster-in-law, which is incredible. That's some power. But yeah.
Are you
so
saying monster-in-law or
Yeah.
momster-in-law?
I said monster-in-law, but I like momster-in-law.
I like
too.
momster-in-law better.
Momster-in-law.
Mobster-in-law would be fun. Oh, Mobster-in-law would be a good
That's a
fucking
movie.
TV show.
That's
a movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking that'd be a great movie.
No, it's sort of a rom-com mobster movie, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, I
Right.
was thinking lobster-in-law. Like it'd be a nice little 3-panel newspaper comic.
Okay.
Gag.
That's good for a newspaper comic. I don't think that could sustain a 90-minute movie.
No, it
but,
couldn't. But I think mobster-in-law absolutely could. That's like a meet. It's
Yeah.
like a meet. That's like a meet the parents kind of
Which,
movie.
as we
Yeah.
discussed yesterday, me and Lindsay, Meet the Parents and The Parent Trap are not in the same universe.
Prove
which I
they're
think I
not.
was confused about. Well, I thought that the Meet the Parents and Meet the Fockers and The Parent Trap were all in the same universe for some reason, which is not true. That's not.
I mean,
my
but you don't know
knowledge.
it's not true.
I guess I don't know that it's not true. Maybe I'm gonna write a little dissertation on why that is true now. Okay, so.
Anyway,
yeah,
Rhys then
we're
continues.
talking about Rhys.
They then they continue to have their conversation that Feyre says once it's all over, she wants to have the true mating bond experience of having having a priest truly, have it declared, have the big party, and then Rhys just responds with, "And if I wanted to go one step beyond that," and then the chapter ends.
So that part confused me because I was like, what is a step beyond that? And then I think they just have sex, which is something they've already done.
So
I think it was
is the implication
either a
here that once
human-
they've had sex once, they can't have sex again?
That would be a really funny, romance novel quirk, I think. But I don't know.
I think that book would just be about edging then.
I think we talked a lot about edging in the past on this podcast.
That doesn't sound like
though.
us.
That sounds like something we do. But yeah.
Anyway,
I'm trying to, I was just confused about the what he said though, because he's like, what about one step further? Like we are gonna share a bank account or something. I don't know.
I think it's kids potentially is what he's referring to.
Okay, you're 100% right. Never mind. I see. Someone's got to explain these things to me.
But I don't know. It was very vague, but I think kids probably.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. Okay. Yeah. So we get to the next chapter, which is the infiltration. and she basically is like, they go to the Highburn. They get to the castle. They infiltrate, and so they're like going through the halls. I'm imagining some sort of like a roguelite, like dungeon crawler experience where Cassian and Azriel are just like hacking up dudes around each corner, and there's just procedurally generated rooms around each turn. And then they get to the boss room, which is the cauldron. I believe that she said it's like the size of a bathtub, which I actually thought it was a lot smaller for some reason. I don't know why. I thought it was like something that could fit on your desk, but I guess not. And sorry, were you gonna say something?
No, I was thinking about the size. I imagine it's like the width of a bathtub, but like still like circular.
Oh, it's still circular for sure. I just was thinking it was a lot smaller is all. I think the I guess I just was like thinking the cauldron would just be like a small little guy I could carry around. So that was on me. So they
I was imagining
think...
like a witch's cauldron, like a big old witch's like stirring this big thing up.
You think, Nero? You think all of creation came from like a little laptop-sized cauldron?
There is no reason on Earth that like the size difference between like a laptop and a bathtub should like fit the whole universe in it.
Yeah, if we're talking about the creation of the universe, then a bathtub is not like that much bigger with respect to that large.
But there's
a
task. Certain grandiosity and appearance that goes along with the creation of the universe.
Sure.
Personally, I still thought it made no sense that a bathtub-sized cauldron created the universe. I still have my doubts. I would still be an atheist within the context of,
even there in religion. Its presence. You saw the second coming of the cauldron, and you're like, I don't think so.
I got some questions. Maybe I'm cauldron agnostic. I don't know. I would have a few follow-up questions.
Look, I believe that the cauldron, there was a cauldron, but I'm not sure that he died for my sins. That's all I'm saying.
The cauldron gave all of its legs for your sins.
Wow, all three of them. Okay, so Feyre, like, as she
are you saying that's not enough legs? You saying it didn't give enough legs for your sins?
More legs.
Yeah, the cauldron had
how many legs have you given for our sins, Nero?
I guess I just have the two, huh? I think that I would give. For our sins? Not for your sins. No, I'm not giving any legs.
Wow. Nir really said, fuck you, Joe. On the
Joe, are you going to climb into the cauldron for humanity's sins and give it your legs? I don't think so.
I mean, like a pinky toe, maybe.
You heard it here, folks.
Like the left
first,
pinky
folks.
toe.
Joe will give a pinky toe for the sins of all of humanity.
What would you do?
I mean, that's got to be enough, right?
Are we... Is it... I would give my legs for the sins of humanity.
I
think you're being a little melodramatic.
I feel like I know some people that don't deserve it, like maybe the Andrew Tates of the world.
You know what? That's a good point. I wonder if you could have like.
I don't want him included.
I wonder if you could have conditions to you giving your legs. I'll give my legs for humanity, but I'm gonna make a list of all the people I don't want included in this.
Okay, so we get to the cauldron, and Feyre predictably starts hearing the cauldron talk to her.
This part's kind of confusing. She's hearing the cauldron talk to her, and then like also the books talk to her.
It like I think what it was trying to do was like it completely just overtakes her. Like her mind is gone. Like the book and the cauldron are talking to each other, and they're talking to her, and they're like, "Yes, the precious,"
And
like,
that's a good point. And she's kind of like lost control of her senses a little bit. Where like Azriel and Moore, I think Cassian's like standing guard, but Azriel and Moore around her like yelling like, Feyre, what are you doing? What are you doing? And like, they're kind of like trying to get her attention, and she's like totally just like kind of like walking towards the cauldron in slow motion, holding both books, and the books are like calling to her and like putting thoughts into her head. And it's not clear if the thoughts that Feyre's having right now are like real, genuine, good ideas, or if it's the books.
I think it was the book like inceptioning her, because like I think that was the idea. It was
that's kind of the vibe I got too.
To me, it's very much like the end of Lord of the Rings when like Frodo has like the ring in the volcano, and he's just like, no, You know, he just like turns around. And he's like, "No, I have it. It's mine." You know.
And then he puts the ring on. So it's basically
which is like, exactly what happens when she like that's the equivalent of her like putting the two halves of the book together.
Yeah.
Basically.
So Feyre's thinking in her head, she's like, "No, Ammon was wrong. We're not supposed to keep the books apart. We're supposed to put them together. That's what we have to do to break the cauldron." And then she puts the books together, right?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And then there's like this explosion of power in the universe, and like I like Doctor Strange is there, and like the Rhino. I don't know.
It's pretty crazy. And then Feyre's nose starts bleeding. Like she comes to and her nose is bleeding. Yeah. And Azrael more like, "What the fuck did you do?"
But she's also then she then starts to try to read the words to nullify it, because she still throughout this entire time her internal monologue is she's corrupted by the books and the cauldron, but she still thinks in her head that, okay, I can put these together, but also I'll do this and I will be in control. I'll have all of this power and can nullify it.
She's like, I will be the god of this new world.
Yeah, she's corrupted, but still thinks that she can stop it. So then she kind of comes to and is like, "Oh, I need to read this nullifying passage."
Actually, another good.
And she begins to read that nullifying passage until we hear a voice.
Ooh.
And a person enters.
Yeah.
Footsteps.
So I was like really like, on the edge of my seat. I was like, "Oh man, is it gonna be like Tamlin or something fucking insane?" And then it's like, and he had round ears like a human. I was like, "Oh, this fucking guy."
As soon as we hear like a hello, my first thought was like, "Oh, it's Juriel."
She also said that he swaggered into the room and was like, "Oh, that's not Tamlin. That's not."
No, yeah. I just wanted it to be something more insane, I guess, because obviously it's Jurian. But anyway, so yeah, that's about where the chapter ends. He's like, "Hello, Feyre, darling," or whatever the fuck. And I'm curious now what will happen. So this is one thing. We only have a few chapters left. This is not enough time for them to like reset and another climax to begin. Like this is the climax of the story is happening. Like it's starting right now, basically. Like,
yeah, I guess the question is, to what degree are we expecting some level of resolution, right? So something small is going to get resolved. And that when I say that may even be in the form of like a character dying or something. Like there will be some sort of thing that happens to mark the end of the book. But like I agree with Joe. Like it's just, this is very much like a halfway point. Jurian's not going to die. Like,
no.
Does the cauldron? Here's the question: does the cauldron get destroyed?
I mean, that would be really interesting. I'm sure. Like,
because the books have been brought the books have been brought together. So we know that some shit's going to go down in the next book that the books coming together probably was the initiator of in some capacity. Mm-hmm. But the question is, did the cauldron at least get destroyed? And does that even make a difference at this point?
I don't think it does.
Wait, did she say the incantation, though? I thought she had just started to. Yeah,
no, she didn't. So, Jurian walked in the room right as...
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I really don't know. I think that whatever fight happens here is going to whatever it's going to happen. I can't help but think like maybe one of these main characters is going to die, but I feel like it's too early. Like
I think Moore's going to die,
but not now. But I
think now because I don't know. I feel like I've been getting vibes this book that Moore is going to die. I feel like there's just been parts where I'm like, I think Moore is not long for this series.
Do you think she's going to go out with a bang like this? And in the next few chapters, she's going to like have some... Because here's the problem. They've been alluding to what Moore is capable of this entire book. The fact that Moore is his number 2, and she's so strong, capable of this and that, and we haven't seen that yet. So like, we better see that before they kill her, right? Like we got to see that in some capacity. So either we see that in these next few chapters, or I think she doesn't die.
So, because her and Jurian have a history, so I think for them to have a confrontation would carry weight thematically.
It would, but would they introduce Jurian and then immediately kill him off this fast?
No. Jurian, no. Like they have to. He has not had enough screen time to die, but I think he will kill Moore. I think that he and Moore will face off, and because he's been resurrected by the cauldron, is going to have some like crazy fucking powers now or something.
I do generally have the question of what Jurian's powers are, because they also had the whole flashback sequence where Rhys was talking about how
he was the human.
Yes, he is a human, but like in the flashback sequence where Rhys was like, Rhys watched Amarantha and Jurian's huge clash on the battlefield. I still don't understand what Jurian, like, what did he do against a magical person?
Well, it sounds like humans had more access to magic back then, and they kind of
did they? Yeah,
they kind of didn't they. I think kind of also swear off magic because of its connection to fairies after all of that.
I think one thing is that they had more access to magic, but they also had like specialized weaponry and everyone knew about like Ashwood and stuff like that back then. Like it was more of an even fight between the two of them, was kind of what I gathered. In today's day and age, I think that the only reason Jurian presents some threat is that because of his resurrection, he's come back from the other side with some sort of special power. Like,
okay, yeah.
Like I think we made a connection of this, but like when he died, the same way Feyre did, like, and came back, like he like Full Metal Alchemist, like he saw like the truth of the universe and like learned all of the secrets of magic, and now is like has a lot of shit going on where he can like do supernatural things or whatever. I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm not sure, though. We haven't really gotten a straight answer on it.
Or, I don't know, maybe Asriel will die? Because I don't know, I feel like
Asriel is the only one that I think could die of the main
He's
characters.
Not fleshed out that much. He really, like, of all the characters, Cassian has had a lot of backstory, a lot of characterization, and growth in this book.
Well, Cassian and Nesta
has not had anything.
Cassian also hasn't, like, he's got that thing with Nesta going on, so he
Cassian
can't
and
die.
Nesta haven't fucked yet, so he's not gonna die.
Yeah.
Rhys obviously
he's also
won't
not
die.
here.
Amren's not. Cassian's here.
Is he in the castle with them?
Yeah, I don't think he's in the room with them, but it was him, Cassian, Azriel, and Moore all infiltrated, I think.
Yeah.
I think
all four of them are there, yeah.
I don't know, I feel like if this book ends on an all is lost moment, which I don't know if it does, I think we're going to get a character death, and then the cauldron remains intact, and also the Book of Breathings is combined, and everything is uber fucked in the third book. Maybe she destroys the cauldron and also a character
dies.
Guys,
they already solved this. They already figured this out in Star Wars. This is going to end with one of the main characters getting captured and taken prisoner, and all is like lost as far as like him getting a stronghold and like taking over a large part of the land.
I'd rather see a character death than a character.
I agree,
prisoner.
but like it's just But if
we've done the character prisoner, that was Rhys. Rhys was the prisoner.
Azriel's going to get frozen in carbonite.
That'd be crazy. If he was just frozen in carbonite specifically.
Specifically, yeah.
Yeah, they specifically call it's a weird pull. They say carbonite, and everyone's like, "What? What's carbonite?"
Nobody knows what it is. The thing I was just thinking of is like, because if you have somebody just get captured, then the character can just not be dead in the next book, right? They have to. Then there's a rescue mission, and like, I'm here to rescue you. You know, like all that.
I think Azriel's the most disposable.
He is the most disposable, for sure.
He does, like, he serves a pragmatic purpose to the group because of, being the Shadow Singer, but he also, from a narrative perspective, has played the least amount of role in having any amount of character development or even dialogue or anything. Yeah,
I guess I'm trying to think like any loose Azriel ends that haven't been tidy up yet. And the only one is like Azriel clearly has a crush on Moore, but I don't think that'll ever amount to anything, right? Mm-mm. And then there was a speculation of like, oh, everyone in this room is going to fuck, like if Nesta ends up with Cassian, then Elaine ends up with Azriel. But they haven't even done any groundwork to kind of like lay that out in any capacity.
I think Elaine will be the bridge to the human world as far as getting some amount of allies, because she can potentially convince her husband. I don't know.
I don't know
about that, because I think they're setting up her husband to do some like heinous shit.
I think her husband's gonna like that might even be what forces
detriment,
Elaine and
like-
Nesta to move to the fairy realm.
Yeah.
Like Elaine, maybe she goes to her
yeah.
husband and is like, "Hey, fairies, we got to do this," and her husband's like, "You what? A betrayal!" And he
Yeah.
breaks off the engagement, and Elaine's heartbroken, and they all move to the fairy realm or something like that.
Yeah, that could be possible. I don't know. Like, I agree though with Joe at least that like Azrael is the most disposable for plot stuff, and like they haven't like set up a thing for him to be developing specifically right now. So like that could happen. Although like the idea of I think like Cassian or getting captured or even more or something could also like be a big deal enough to like kind of be a cliffhanger. This is interesting though,
So,
but I
to-
do
to
think
make
that
my
there will be
prediction,
some
what
all
I'm-
is lost moment where like the king gets some major victory by the end of this book where everything looks bad.
Oh, wow. Okay, to inform your decisions, I'm going to just tell you the length of the chapters as far as like time
Okay.
in Spotify. Chapter 63, 9 minutes, 30 seconds. 64, 12 minutes. 65, 22. 66, 11. 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes. Like, we don't have a lot of time left.
Okay, so there's like one actual full like big chapter where things are gonna happen. Basically,
Yeah, we're gonna
It's
have like one. Yeah, because like you have to have your
yeah.
kind of like your resolution a little bit. So
The
there
fight
really
is
isn't
gonna
a
happen
lot
here.
that can happen.
Rhys is gonna not be able to get there in time to help whatever the bad thing is and stop it, because he's in the Batmobile, and I think he's gonna be. It's gonna be really bad. Like, I mean, I just don't think he's capable of this. But like, I mean, what if Rhys gets captured? Like, is that possible?
No, I don't. That was the entire plot of basically like the last 50 years was him being a prisoner.
Right.
And he was captured a few chapters ago.
He was. You're right. Yeah. That would make sense.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I really don't want to see another prisoner plot. Like, I really just.
I agree.
I want to
I think we've done
see.
enough prisoner.
I want to
I
see
want
it
to see blood.
because also the whole first book was the last. Act 3 was Feyre being a prisoner. I would rather just see like a character die, and then the fallout of that, and having to. I don't want to rehash the same relative plot element.
You heard it here
Right.
first, folks. Joe wants more to die.
Ooh.
No,
Joe
as.
hates women? Oh, Joe hates men. Okay,
I hate men.
Oh, that's fair.
that's true.
That's fine.
Okay,
You can't cancel me for that.
No.
Although Joe, before we're recording, Joe did actually say to the two of us, "Do you guys ever feel like men get mistreated nowadays?"
Yeah. Well, but he like clarified though, because it was like, I don't know, like I just wanted like men, like we used to be like everything we did was correct, and now they're telling me the things I do aren't always correct.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And
And,
I'm
then you brought up
concerned
Andrew
about that.
Tate, and then during the recording, you brought up Andrew Tate and Joe Rogan again. Actually,
I mean, we're always talking about women's rights. What about men's rights?
yeah.
Yeah. Jesus. All right, I want to stop doing this because I'm feeling tired and sick. Ellie. Ellie got really mad about that, what you just said. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll close it out here. Patrick, did you have a more specific prediction for the ending of this book? How it's gonna what it's gonna end on?
Why did you call me out?
Well, because Joe and I both just talked extensively about what we thought was
we
gonna
were
happen.
spitballing. I think truly what my prediction is I think Azrael, like to give my definitive, Patrick can't argue and say I said everything prediction. This is my definitive prediction. Az will die. I think we're going to get an all is lost ending where the Book of Breathings, or was it Bindings or Breathings, is now combined into a more powerful object. The cauldron will not be destroyed, and they're going to have to just fucking book it out of the castle, and we're going to deal with the fallout in Book 3.
Okay, a controversial
I think there
idea I
needs
have.
to be at least some sort of resolution. I don't think.
Look, that's my prediction. I'm just saying that's the firm prediction. We can go back and
Okay,
you
here's
can
my-
fucking
here's
argue
my-
with me. We have it. It's here.
Here's my hard prediction: is that I think that there is going to be there's going to be a battle here. Rhys, something really terrible is going to happen. That may be a character death, but whatever it is, it's going to be that Rhys can't get to them fast enough, not to help, not because he's too far away, but because there is another force that is attacking Hybern, and it's Tamlin and his army. And they're caught in the middle of it, and that's how it ends. What?
Actually, you know what'd be funny, guys? You know that joke prediction I made a couple episodes ago about how Tamlin's not going to appear for the rest of the book?
Yeah.
We are quickly barreling towards that prediction
We're so
being
close
accurate.
to the end. I was actually I was just thinking about that. Like, how is it possible Tamlin can even appear in this book anymore? Like,
what if
I hope
Tamlin
that
was the king of Hybern all along?
oh shit!
Oh, shit.
Also to add to my prediction, I do think we're obviously going to get the big Thanos reveal of the king. Like, we'll get a description of what the king of Hybern looks like. We will meet him before this book is over. We won't have any true, like, he might kill a character, he might have some sort of brief interaction, but we have to... He's been the big bad, and we have not gotten a read on what he looks like. We will have to get some sort of brief, intimidating interaction before this book is over, to then set the stage for what we're going to deal with in book 3.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because, like, we have to have a more direct, like, when you're doing these, like, long-term things, especially in D&D, like, your big bad evil guy, the BBEG, like, the players need to, like, see them physically doing bad things, not just hear about it, and, like, meet them in order for them to, like, have the emotional drive to, like, want to get there and beat them. And I think that is something we're missing still so far, is that we haven't seen, like, Hybern physically do anything. So, like, I think that you're right. I think he is going to execute somebody fucking in front of Feyre. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, he executes Azriel in front of her or something like that.
I agree. I think the BFG does show up at the end of this book.
The big fucking guy.
The big fucking gun.
Big fucking guy.
From Doom. He pulls out the BFG from Doom.
No, the BFG from Doom.
The BFG from Doom. That's the King of Hybern walks in holding the BFG from Doom and just shoots Azriel with it. And
I've traversed the multiverse for this.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to think, because I think that Sarah J. Maas is going to write some sort of resolution to the end of this book. We're not going to get fucking, like, cliffhanger, the book ends, no resolutions, tune in next time. I think but I don't even know, there's not that much time left for there to be any kind of meaningful resolution. Like a fight, maybe Jurian dies, maybe more dies.
Yeah, this is a very quick, like, impromptu fight. They flee, something horrible happens, they have to regroup, but yeah, things are bad at the end, basically.
I don't know. I can't. There's not much time left to really. Tamlin's not going to show up. That's my prediction.
No, you're right. I literally can't figure a way to fit him into this anymore.
Or we could get, man, this is now just me. This is not my official prediction. I just think it'd be awesome if Tamlin shows up and just gets immediately fucking executed. Just
wow.
He shows up and Hybern just, like, Thanos snaps him out of existence.
That would be really good. The problem is it's too good and they won't do it.
It also takes away the dramatic.
Oh yeah, there's no resolution between
Feyre and there's no resolution.
It still has to happen.
It's great for the reader, but not as, like, a story.
It is amazing that we're gonna go this whole, like, it's amazing that Feyre leaves Tamlin, and we'll just get no resolution to that this book. I mean, we technically did get a resolution. Feyre came to terms with it. She is resolved. She has moved on. And she's like, I'm good. I don't even need to see that fucking clown anymore. But Tamlin, it's like there's no actual confrontation.
Oh, yeah. And we forgot to talk about it when after she had disregarded Rhys and when he was saying, "Where are you?" he wasn't even mad at her. And later on, when they were discussing the plans and he couldn't be there physically to protect her, he straight up tells her, yeah, I'm totally fine with you doing this. You know, I always want to protect you, but you are also your own individual person. And it clicks for her again in that moment how horribly she was treated by Tamlin as a belonging, as an object. So she had she's continuing to have this resolution of, and continuing to coming to grips with just how bad that relationship was.
Yep. Tamlin sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I know that, but, like, is he gonna know that in this one?
No, there is not. Even if Tamlin does show up again, there is not nearly enough time for Tamlin to realize that he sucks.
Yeah.
Does it matter at this point if he does? Because she's with Rhys. For sure. There's no going back. Like, the mating bond is... There's no will they, won't they anymore.
I don't think...
It's not even a love triangle.
I don't think we'll get a will they, won't they, or a love triangle. I don't think there's any of that kind of stuff. I'm just curious if Tamlin as a character and as a person will have any growth in any capacity.
Have we abandoned the Tamlin character's development in any way, or is he just, like, off to the side now? I would be surprised if that's the case, because, like, I feel like he still needs to have some sort of, like, confrontation with Feyre, first of all, to get directly told off. But then secondly, like, it wouldn't really even be satisfying for him to, like, just be like, oh, fuck you, fuck them too, and leave. You know, it's like...
I can only see it really come back into play with Tamlin if he... Obviously, they have to have a confrontation for, you know, resolution. But I could only see it coming back into play if... And I don't even know how they would make this work because he's just so fucking dense. But if somehow he's a reluctant ally and there's this, I don't know, like, not friendship, but baseline allyship that they can work out throughout all of this to take on Highburn because I think we're going to get a huge showing here at the end of this book of just how fucked they are if they can't all come together as Prithian against the King of Highburn.
Yeah, so I think the next book is going to be a lot of rallying the different courts to try to fight Highburn, and it's going to be a line. There's going to be a line in the sand of, like, these are the courts that align themselves with the Night Court. These are the ones that align themselves with Highburn.
Okay, one of my predictions, I'm going to throw this one out here. It's a little more specific. By the end of the book, it'll probably be in a resolution section. There will be a part where it's exactly like the end of the second Hunger Games. So, like, what about District 12? It's like, didn't you hear? There is no District 12. It's just like, what about the Summer Court? Like, there is no Summer Court anymore. It's gone.
That'd be
Something
wild.
Like that. Yeah. So that's one of my specific ones. Okay, so one thing I did want to do here, which we'll try and start doing regularly, but I'll do a little catch up here, is some of the reading some of the comments and reviews we've gotten for the show. And just thanking our readers for engaging, because that does help the podcast visibility, even just on its own. So just picking out some comments here we've had on previous episodes from a while ago. We had from Brodor. As one of the only male listeners, I would like it to be known I used to be a trucker, and I would like the sign-off to stay the same. So I wanted to thank Brodors in the Discord, too, for helping us power through that and fighting off the haters like Rachel.
And Alexa. Alexa and Rachel,
too,
both big keep on trucking haters.
And then, of course, one of our regular commenters, Tabitha, commented on a few different things here. But, of course, I can't stop thinking of Thanos as the King of Highburn now. But my favorite moment of the episode was you guys talking about Rhysand's actions under the mountain. Very intriguing. Where will it go? Of course, we have a comment here from Elisa. Hi, I'm the female Kyle. And it's because I don't like romance books, and I have read books like Twilight and Crescent City, another Sarah J. Maas series, to try and fit in with women fantasy readers, but I've never enjoyed it. Part of me is worried that women in men's fantasy has these stereotypes, because I'm worried about publishing doubling down on it. I clicked on this so I know what's going on without having to read this book, but finding it on a Dungeons and Daddies related thing was a green flag. So thank you.
Finding it on a dungeon. How did we get the Dungeons and Daddies tie into this?
We've referenced it a couple times.
Yeah, no, I think because she was saying that, like, I think somebody had posted it in the Dungeons and Daddies Discord as like, oh hey, check this out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was how we got a few of our listeners.
Did you post?
I have done that before, but this actually did happen without me.
Oh, fun. That's awesome. I love that. I actually just started listening to Dungeons and Daddies.
Hey.
Finally. I've wanted to listen to it for years because I've been a Freddie Wong fan from all his other past shenanigans for a while. I finally started listening to it a week ago, and I'm already like 8 episodes in, and it fucking rules.
Hey, excellent. Yeah, you're about to get... Wait, have you gotten to the pyramid yet?
Yes, I did get to the pyramid.
Yeah.
Okay. The pyramid
That's where the story like really starts to kick in.
I was in my car driving home fucking dying of laughter.
Yes.
It's so
Dude,
good. Don't spoil it. Obviously,
I'm not gonna spoil anything.
Alexa's
No.
way behind. I've been begging her. I'm like, please get caught up. I want to talk to you about this show so bad. It's so funny.
Irv and I saw them do a live show.
Yeah, it was so fucking funny. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
After like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, like the dopamine in my brain died because I was laughing so hard.
They did Dad Hard, which was like them doing like Die Hard as their characters was like happening to them in the world. And
that's like, great.
It's very good. Okay, so a few more things from Just for Bug. We have a new comment on our newest episode. This is 10 out of 10 horny listener here. I'm 27.
Also from Just for Bug, I wanted to shout out, this is from Book 2, Episode 4, Apothecary Diaries mentioned, also I want you to know that no one laughed at the I think you should leave Bones joke, but I did. So, thank you, Just for Bug, for validating that I think you should leave rules.
I think you should leave is great.
Another Just for Bug banger, from the last episode. I had such a visceral reaction to Rhys's dick being wrapped around his leg. Oh my god.
What? I don't even remember what that is a reference to. What?
I don't either. And then over on our iTunes here on Apple Podcasts, we got a few reviews here. We've got one from Joe, not you, it's J-O, so I'm assuming it's Joanne, somebody. This podcast has me actually laughing out loud. I love your perspective on these books. Keep it up. Thank you. This one is from Live Nerdy, enjoying the bros and the broses. Love this podcast. The conversations between the hosts literally makes me laugh. I really enjoyed this book series, and it's a fun way to re-experience the series. And then we have one from Love You Alex Alu that says, very silly, really enjoying these guys, especially their predictions. I hope they do all the books.
Oh, that's Alexa, I think.
Oh, is that Alexa? Okay.
I think it is.
Well, you shouldn't have said that then. Fine. Thank you, Alexa.
It's not Alexa.
You're right.
I heard that. I was like, I heard you trying to pronounce that name. I was like, what is that? Why does it sound familiar? Oh,
why do I know that?
That is definitely Alexa.
I was like, love you, Alex Alu. Who's that?
Well, now you've put Alexa's.
You're right. I've doxed her and Stephen Colbert's sister in the same episode.
Melissa Colbert.
Should we? Oh yeah. Should we? That's actually a good point. Should we actually bleep that out?
No, she's a public figure. It's okay. Like,
I don't know if Alexa would agree that she's a public figure.
Oh, Alexa? No, Alexa's not a public figure.
we should maybe bleep out.
We can
hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. But I've already fuck.
No, you've already talked about the fact that she's the one who commented. We have to cut this entire section out.
We do actually. Fuck. Because I'm
if you
pretty
want
sure
to, I can.
I'll ask Alexa.
Okay. All right. Anyways,
let's do a brief pause here so we can make it easy to cut.
All right. So I said I'll ask Alexa, and then there was enough of a pause.
Okay.
Bitches.
Great. So
we'll cut that out too, actually, because now if you do cut a section of it out, it's gonna sound like you read all these nice reviews from everyone,
and then you're just like bitches.
Immediately, I say bitches after.
Okay. Anyway, let's get out of here. So thank you guys for listening again. We have one more episode in this season, and then we're probably gonna have a few interstitial things, including our roundtable discussion, in which, by the way, we're going to have homework for that one, where each of us is going to have to come in with a casting list developed independently for these characters.
What? Who? Okay.
This is the thing people have been demanding. People have asked me for this specific thing. For us to come in, cast all the characters in this book for the movie, and then like argue about it.
Okay, we need to come up with a list of characters we actually want to cast first.
Yeah,
because I don't want Joe to come up with a list of 5 things, and then I have 45 characters on my casting list.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, why am I the lazy one here?
I don't know. Why are you the lazy one here, Joe?
Yeah,
it was one time I came unprepared, mildly unprepared.
Mildly unprepared. There was one time, we can talk about it now because that was several episodes ago. There was one episode where Joe had not finished listening to the entire
it was
book.
One chapter I missed.
It was 2 chapters you missed, I think.
It was one chapter. No, it was one chapter.
And then we have to figure out which episode it is, but in the episode there are a couple different things. Joe said, "Yeah, I thought that too, Patrick. What did you think about that?" Like, wow, like
smooth.
I'm very prepared right now, and you're not, Patrick. Like, he kept trying to turn around on my ass, and he hadn't read the book.
I liked it.
And then Nirav and I at one point went, and then we had to keep talking because we didn't want to put him on blast and fucking out him during the recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, just a shout out, we have these polls on the episodes. Which, some of them get a few votes, and one with the most votes was, "Did you like Nirav's voice for the adder?" And yeah, won that one. The other option was yes, but that one also got a lot of votes.
You gave the options of yeah and yes.
Yeah.
fucking Nero dictator over here.
Okay. All right. So we'll be back next week, or rather 2 weeks from when you're listening to this. And yeah, thank you guys for listening so much. Oh, we are so close. We're at 3,500 listens total as of yesterday. We're doing pretty good, I think. And
you said we're so close. What is our target? Like, what? You said we're so close.
I was sorry. I should finish my sentence. We were so close. I was hoping that we would have a nice round even number to like say, oh, at the end of season 2 we had exactly 4,000 listens or whatever, which obviously did not happen. But 3,500. Who knows?
Maybe we'll get another 500 listens.
Maybe. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening, and yeah, we will. So I just want to confirm, because I think somebody did ask me, like, we are definitely going to do the third book, and we'll just kind of reassess where we are at that time after that.
Yeah,
so.
We'll see what's going on in my life as a parent, and your guys' life with all the shit that you do.
Right.
Maybe so, yeah, Joe will also be a parent at that time.
Maybe.
Hope not. That's
not
the
intentionally.
Plan.
You never know. Okay, so yeah, we'll be back and keep on trucking, I guess.
Keep on trucking, and I think there's gonna be a fun little BTS stinger at the end of this. Do we need to say that?
There is gonna be one. Please listen to the end.
Great.
Keep on trucking until the end of the podcast.
Tick, 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 tick on the wall. Maybe you could have it all. Get down on your knees and pray. Maybe she will let you stay. Good enough if you play the game. Here comes the music, don't resist. Gotta keep on moving. Here comes the music, just give in. Gotta keep on moving.
All right, James, can you say bitch?
Bitch.